Hey everybody, welcome to Jackson and Seth at the Movies, where we talk about movies all day. I'm here with my pal Seth. Seth, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing tonight,
Jackson? I'm doing good. Doing good. Alright, so we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We got two movies to talk about, Snatched and King Arthur, The Legend of
the Sword.
The Legend of the Sword. And then we also got some movie news to cover up and trailer stuff at the end. So, first off, we'll talk about a movie that I personally want to get out of the way because it was bad. Snatched.
We saw it last Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we saw it.
Okay, I'm gonna let the courtesy of you to go first.
This movie is the worst movie I've seen all year. Personally, I hated this movie. There was not a single moment of fun to be had with this movie. Whenever either Jackson or I would laugh, we discussed it after. We always laugh. We laughed a few times, but it was because of how cringy and awful the entire movie was.
Yeah.
The fact that this movie got made is a disaster. The fact that Goldie Hawn was in it, and this is her return to movies, is a disaster.
Oh my god. That's a great start.
She deserves better. And you can think what you want about her, but she deserves better than this shitty movie. Yeah, it's bad in every front. There's no story at all, pretty much. It's like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, if Forgetting Sarah Marshall was a really shitty movie. Jackson's never seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but
no, I haven't.
If you have, if you've seen Snatch and you've seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I'm sure you'll see exactly what I'm saying. This movie's bad, and it sucks.
I completely agree with you. This is a completely shit movie. I was trying to think of what else movies that were worse than this, but I couldn't think of any. Yeah, this has got to be the worst one of the year so far. I don't like this for many reasons. I agree with a lot what you say. And then there's also, okay, I personally hate it when modern comedies, they don't even try. Sometimes they don't try to look like a film. This one doesn't look like a movie where, the cinematography is fine. The editing is fine. The sound is fine. It's a very competent movie. Like, people know what they're doing. But it's not like they're passionate about making movies and making this fun. They're just like, here you go, here you go, here you go. All right, everything should be flowing just fine. Where's my paycheck?
Yeah.
And it just, like, if you look at this, I don't mind. I know other comedies do this, like Bridesmaids, where that movie doesn't have, like, the best direction or cinematography. But, at least it was still entertaining thanks to the performances,
and
the
script,
writing. And it was funny.
Yeah.
It was really, really funny. That's what a lot of comedies are trying to do now these days, which I don't mind that. But the problem is, if the movie's not funny, there's nothing really appealing to look at either. There's nobody who is passionate to make the movie look good, cinematography-wise or visually. Not that I'm saying that every movie has to have a visual style, but it's better than looking at, boring, basic things and without funny.
I'm going to take what you said there, basic.
Basic.
This movie is the most basic movie I've possibly ever seen, in a lot of senses of the words. You hear the word basic this day to describe people who are always on their phone, never go out to see the world. They're basic. They just they do what, like, society expects people our age to do, This movie relies on a lot of social media jokes and, like, Instagram jokes, and how it's funny that Amy Schumer is constantly posting stuff on social media websites, and none of the jokes land whatsoever. This movie sucks. There's a part where it's just bad. I can't even, I do not remember most things about this movie.
That's good. I don't remember most of it either.
I cannot put a good thought. And, I walk into every movie just with, whether I wanted to see it or not, whether I thought it was going to be bad or good. Once I sit in the theater, I'm like, okay, Seth, just watch it. If you like it, you're going to like it. If you don't, you're not. and I always try to come out of a movie with one thing I liked about it. The only thing I could muster up that was kind of okay, there was a guy, he played
Was he the...
He worked for the U.S. government.
That guy.
And I don't know his name, don't remember his character name at all, but he was pretty funny. Like, a few of his lines were okay, and I was like, okay, you're the best part of this movie, and you're super lackluster still. Like, you're not that great. And
there was also, like, one joke that was... Like, it was just one joke I remember from the movie that was legitimately funny. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not just a cringe thing about the movie. Like, there was a good, well-set-up joke, but that was just one.
Which one?
The whole thing. The one where, there's this joke where, so there's Wanda Sykes and her her sidekick, and they were trying to, like, get on this van.
Yeah, they're trying to roll. They're trying to roll on top of a van without being seen by like all the like bad guys or whatever. And Wanda Sykes rolls, and then it was
some other.
It was what's her name? She's. Now I'm forgetting her name. She's good in the movie. Remember. She has no lines, so.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She's a good character. But they both roll on, and they're just looking. And I won't say what happens in case you somehow see this movie, because I don't want to spoil the best part of the movie for you. But me and Jackson, after this happened, me and him laughed. No one else in the theater laughed, but me and him laughed. Because it was actually really funny. Because you expect the movie to do one thing with a certain character because that's what would be funny. Mm-hmm. And they switch it on you and don't do that at all. And it's so funny because
that was funny.
You know, you're expecting something and then you don't get it and you're like, oh, that's actually kind of funny though.
Yeah.
Like I like that. I respect that. But yeah, I mean,
that's the only thing I can think of. Kind of liked.
Yeah, I mean, and
there's nothing else redeemable about this.
I really kind of, I like Trainwreck. I know you didn't like it too much.
I'm mostly just not a fan of it. Yeah. I think the storyline was okay. I just didn't think it was like it's sort of like a Seth MacFarlane movie where like there's some part of a story I like, or there's a joke I like, and then there's some. It's mostly hit or miss.
Yeah,
some good stuff and some are misses.
Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense. And me and Jackson, when we went into it, Jackson was like, "Oh, this is gonna be awful," and I was like, "It might be. It probably is gonna be. Let's be honest, but let's just watch it, and if we like it, we'll like it, and we don't." And then the entire movie, we did not like this movie.
I was just sitting there, despite laughing at a few cringy moments, I had a straight face. And sometimes that, I mean, usually I don't make a lot of faces in the theaters, but usually if I'm just like putting my arm up in the armrest and I'm just kind of like...
Yeah, that's how I do it, and I mean...
It's just so bored.
Like, personally, I will touch on it later, but King Arthur, we'll just talk about it later. But Jackson, what would you give this movie out of your rating basis?
Okay, well, I'm just gonna let you guys know, don't see this movie. It's a waste of time. I think this was just a cash grab for Mother's Day. And I did not think Amy Schumer was completely funny in this movie. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of her in general, but I mean, this is like the lowest point I've seen.
This movie's making good money, though.
Is it?
It made $17.2 million this weekend.
Oh.
On like a $42 million budget, or less, I think. So it will make its money back. It made more money than King Arthur made. Which, King Arthur, even, I don't think Jackson liked it too much, but I know he'll admit to you guys that it's a much better movie in every aspect.
I'll get into that with King Arthur.
But, yeah, don't see this movie unless someone's like on their deathbed and they're like, all I want to do is see Snatched with you. I'll even buy the ticket. Tell them they have to pay for their own ticket, though, if they want you to pay for it.
You know, it's not even worth giving your money, honestly. No, it's not. It's one of those really bad, forgettable comedies that, like, come out every once in a while, and then everybody forgets about it. And, you know, I'm pretty much going to bet 90% the next few weeks, when more summer movies come out, people would instantly forget about this one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And then like you'll be like on advertisements like, go get it on digital, HD, and Blu-ray. It's like, oh yeah.
I'm sure it will be in the top 5 this next week, box office wise. I'm sure it will make its money back. I'm sure it will do fine.
Yeah.
But it will not be remembered at all.
It's just not a good one. I would give this, with just one funny joke, I give this an F.
Yeah.
It's F for fucking bad.
Yeah, for real. It's bad.
What would you give it?
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I hated this movie so bad, and I don't hate many movies. Like, I always look for, even if a movie's bad, I look for something to enjoy from it. Like, I always try and find one thing I enjoy.
Yeah.
And I could not find a single thing. I'd give this, I do ratings out of 10. I would give this a 0.1 out of 10 for that one comedic moment.
Yep.
But just don't see it, and if you see it, grab a big bucket of corn and just munch on it to get you through. That's what I had to do. I just had to eat some popcorn to get me through it.
Oh, I thought you meant like get an actual corn and stuff your face with it.
No, a bucket of popcorn.
Actually, there's this quick little funny story about what happened when I was dropping Seth off after we saw the movie, and I was just driving home. I almost passed out for a bit. Like, I was feeling really dizzy, and I got a little bit sick, and I was like, oh God, I gotta go. I gotta get somewhere. So I had to drive to a hospital, and I had my doctor check on me, and he told me that I got AIDS. And I was like, why? How did I get this? And he says, well, you would usually get this for, some cases, or if you watch bad Amy Schumer movies.
Oh. I don't think that's a true story, personally.
It's very true. They need to make that as a movie. Like, good golly, that could win Oscars.
True. All right, on to the next movie review today. King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. This one will be interesting because me and Jackson have very different thoughts on this movie. Apparently, it will be a nice heated discussion. Also, everyone needs to remember the things you hear me and Jackson say in the next few minutes. We love each other very much.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We do this podcast together because we like talking.
Think of this as like Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, like, we love each other, but some words might be said that are pretty mean in the next few minutes. I'll just start real fast.
All right, go ahead.
I'll give my basic thoughts, he can give his basic thoughts, and we can talk. I really like this movie. I have never liked a Guy Ritchie movie. Never. I don't like Snatched, I don't like Long Stock, I don't like Man from U.N.C.L.E., I don't like any of his movies at all. I just don't like his directing style. I've never liked it. I've never thought it was good. But I went and saw this movie because me and Jackson talked and we're like, well, we need to review it on the podcast. And I honestly, I don't think it's a great movie by any standards, I don't think it's exceptional. But I had a great time with the movie. Like, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought, surprisingly, a lot of things that Guy Ritchie does that I don't like, he did in this movie, and I really liked. Mm-hmm. I thought the performances were pretty good. Jude Law is good in anything, and I thought he was really good in this. He has one of the coolest lines in a movie I've seen in a while. He says, fear is the strongest piece of currency or something like that.
That is the worst British accent I've ever heard from you.
Oh, yeah, I should have used a British accent, I guess. But no, I thought it was a really cool movie. I thought it had a lot of really cool parts. I just like the movie. And I'm not very into King Arthur and those kind of stories. Like, never have been. I think it's a fine story, a fine tale, but I've never been like, oh, King Arthur. Oh, the Knights of the Round Table. Like, medieval times and those kind of things have never really been my favorite.
Yeah.
But I like this movie. I liked a lot of stuff about it. There's a lot of stuff I didn't like that I'll get into. But Jackson, what were your basic first thoughts on this?
Okay, well, It was okay. So when it comes to I didn't really see a lot of Guy Ritchie movies. In fact, I think I've only seen one, and that's Sherlock Holmes, and I don't remember really liking that one as much. I've only seen it once in theaters, and then like I don't remember it. And then like when I was going into this one, I was thinking positive, like thinking, okay, maybe there could be some cool action. I mean, there's some cool shots in the trailer and all. I'm just like, yeah. And, you know, the action stuff satisfied me. I mean, it's like this movie was mostly 30% entertaining when it comes to action. When it gets to action scenes, I feel like that's when it gets a lot of fun. 70% of the movie, I thought it was a touch bit boring. I didn't care for most of the characters, although I'm not exactly sure if this movie's not either taking itself seriously or if it's trying to be like one of those, like, just have fun action movie sort of thing. But, like King Arthur's got, like, the most development in arc because he's the main character, of course, but then there's, like, other ones, and I'm just like, they're just other ones, but okay.
Yeah.
And, I don't really care for a lot of the stuff character-wise, what happens in the movie. I just sort of just wait for the next action scene.
Yeah.
There were a couple things I liked about the movie. I do agree, I really like Jude Law. I think he was the best thing about this movie, and I like the villain, his character, a lot.
Yeah.
I like how he makes certain sacrifices just to get, like, super being powers in case somebody overrules him. I like that.
I think his character has the most development.
Yeah.
Even though King Arthur is the main, they try the hardest with King Arthur to develop his character. Jude Law has his character developed in so many different ways.
The movie should have been about him.
From like sacrificing people he loves to become powerful. Which isn't a spoiler, happens in the first like 5 minutes of the movie. It's not gonna kill you. He does that to become powerful, to become a mage, pretty much. And through this, he shows so much emotion as an actor, and he shows so much just like care for the people he's killing. It's killing him that it's killing them, but it's also bringing out his more powerful side. He's better because he's doing this in ways that he wants.
Right.
He wants to be more powerful.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And the last time, I don't want to spoil it, there's a part at the end of the movie where he has to do something very emotional. Yeah. And I believed
that was a good moment.
That he was still a good person in a way. Like, obviously he's not, because he's done all these awful things. Yeah. But it
makes him more human.
It does. He just sells the emotion.
He does.
He's such a good actor. So good.
Yeah, he is really good.
He really, I really enjoyed him. And, yeah, I'll let you keep going with your basic thoughts.
Oh, that's okay. But, yeah, I agree. Jude Law is the best thing about the movie. Even his character is really good. I think better than everyone else. Like I said, I really like the action scenes. They're fun. They're really fun to watch, and I like how they're edited, which I'll get into editing with this movie and the direction later. Another thing I legitimately really liked was the soundtrack. The soundtrack is probably the most badass soundtrack I have heard for a while.
It's cool. It's definitely cool. It's like medieval music with a rock tone.
I know.
Like, there's a song at the end when they're, like, finally going back to face Jude Law. Yeah. And it's like, boom, and you just hear guitars come in. And I literally, my first thought in my head was, oh, I gotta get this shit on my phone.
I know.
This stuff's cool.
It does sound cool. Just imagine, like, if you were just dressed up as a badass, and then, like, you put up that music, and you just open the door, and people are just looking at you, and you're just like,
yeah. And if medieval rock music that rocks your socks off doesn't, like, make you excited, then I don't know what will, because it's cool.
Well, this is why I recommend buying the soundtrack. The soundtrack is freaking amazing, and it works really well within the movie.
Yeah, definitely very good soundtrack.
Yeah. Otherwise, the cast is alright. Charlie Hunnam was okay. I mean, he had some good funny bits, but not really great. the main character's a little bit generic, but I mean, just for an action movie like this, sure. And I don't really remember much else because I just kind of remember thinking, well, I mean, there's certain things that in this movie I don't necessarily hate. Like, this is not a movie where it's like, say, Snatch, where I absolutely hated. It's just boring. Even like when the editing is fast paced. Mm-hmm. Even when I'm not sure if Guy Ritchie does this in his movies. I mean, correct me if
he does. He does. He's very. I almost would like to compare him. He's a lesser Edgar Wright, in my opinion.
A little bit.
In terms of he does this thing in his movies where people will talk about something that happened.
Like if he's if there's somebody's planning out something.
Yeah, they'll be having a conversation, and then it will be showing what the conversation is about. Yeah. So it'll be cutting, and camera will do cool angles, turn, fast, and it's kind of you have to keep up with it. I think he's a very intelligent director. I will say that for him. Mm-hmm. I'm just not the biggest fan of his movies. He's a very intelligent director, and I really liked a lot of his directing styles in this movie. I never have liked the whole talking about something and then going back and showing it as they're talking. I just thought it was sort of it's a thing. But I liked it in this movie. I think he really did something that I was able to get on board with.
That's probably the part I'm not a huge fan of this movie.
Yeah.
It is sort of how Edgar Wright would edit a movie, except I feel like Edgar Wright would be more... I know he did this once with Shaun of the Dead, where that scene where Simon Pegg was okay, we got to get to a mom's house, and then we got to get to Galley's, and then we go back into my house and tea. I understand that, but I feel like the editing was paced well. It was flowing. Even if it was going fast, you could still see... you get what's going on. But with this one, I feel like it goes a little bit too fast paced. Mm-hmm. Where it's just cut to this, 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 and then here's you grabbing something, then cut to this, and then cut to this. Every shot looks like it takes place 1 second or 2 seconds, which I don't mind that if it's visually handled really well. Mm-hmm. And they do talk over this, which I'm not really a huge fan of. I would much rather prefer if they just said little and then they just show you things and you understand things. I'm more of a visual guy.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I'm more of a visual guy than just, people talking while things are happening. You do see stuff happening, but I'd much rather prefer, see stuff happening because visual. Mm-hmm. Other than that, that's all the basic stuff I really have to say about this movie. So, Seth, are you ready to get your ass kicked?
I guess. I mean, I don't write off your opinion. I thought this was going to be different. So, with the point of just waiting for the next action scene, mm-hmm. and first of all, I don't care about many characters in this movie either.
Yeah.
This movie, for me, was just a pure, went into a theater, turned my brain off, and just wanted to have a good time.
Whoops, I accidentally left that on.
And I know, and I mean, I did see the problems. I said, this is not a great movie by any means.
Yeah.
But I just had so much fun with this movie. The action scenes were great, in my opinion. I really liked a lot of the scenes where they talked over while things happen. I really liked the guy, he's colored... Digimon Houston?
The guy who was that one dude who...
He was in Blood Diamond.
He was also in Guardians.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah.
I just like him in everything. I mean, his character's not great, but he's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would never put this in my top 5 of the year and top 10 of the year.
Yeah.
But in a year or 2 down the line, if someone was hey, I just watched King Arthur, did you ever see it? I'd be oh yeah, that was a good movie. I liked it. And I respect the fact that, and I saw its problems too. I wasn't just I didn't come out of the theater, oh, that's a perfect movie. That movie's better than anything else that's come out ever. I came out of that movie like, I enjoyed a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah, you know that's the kind of feeling I wanted to get from this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I got from the action scenes, like I said, and some cool visuals here and there. But then I was just mostly
the part where he goes into the dark realm or whatever.
The dark world.
Yeah, that part's cool. The visually it is.
Yeah, it does look cool. It looks like a really good looking video game.
It's a really good directed scene too, cause like the way it happens is he like goes and like all these like he's like taken from cave to cave by this giant bat, and it's like directed in a way where it's like the last time he saw his parents alive is like flashing, and this scene's flashing, and it's kind of like spooky too. It wasn't way spooky, but it was sort of spooky,
right?
And I really liked it.
I felt like that scene was very like there was some cool shots in there, and like I said, the music's great. Get the soundtrack; it's great, but it feels like a video game.
Yeah,
I'm watching a video game.
I did have a lot of problems with that in this movie too. Was a lot of times I was like, look at those graphics, because they did the Beowulf thing a lot, where scenes are animated almost.
Yeah, that was the one scene that actually kind of took me out of the movie. Well, I could just turn my brain off and go, oh my god, the scene is badass. It's like I'm just looking at it, I'm like, oh my god, this looks like a cool video game. Where's the controllers? Can I play it? Oh, it's just a movie and I can't play it? Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I mean,
yeah, some of the effects look really video game-ish.
Yeah.
And sometimes that kind of takes me out of the movie for a little bit.
Well, and Guy Ritchie never delves into special effects too much. Snatch has, I mean, of course, special effects are almost in any movie these days.
Of course.
They have scenes of special effects. Unless you shoot on film, then most of the time in film you don't use special effects. But occasionally they do. But, I mean, I guess we're not going to fight too much, because I definitely, I agree with your opinion on it.
Yeah.
I just saw it in a different way.
I just thought it was forgettable.
Yeah.
Not great, but forgettable.
Much better than Snatched, though.
Yes.
If you
at least this one was visually appealing to look at, and I was actually entertained by the way how the movie looks, and the way how it's edited with the action scenes. Very fun, fast-paced with the action scenes. But like, it's more of a fun. Well, sometimes for me, fun movie. It's better than nothing.
And see, and I was sort of the way of like, okay, an action scene's over now. I have to wait till the next one. But the action scenes interested me so much. Like, I thought they were so well done that it was worth it for me. Like, it took it to that level.
Right.
Well, but I mean, that's all I have to say about King Arthur.
There was I want to mention there's some action scenes. Like, there's some action scenes that are pretty good. The one I really liked the most was mostly the mid part of the movie, where they're getting chased by all those the knights, or those black knights. And then there's like a couple of like point of view shots where it looks like they put cameras on their shoulders. They show this in the trailer too.
Yeah, that was cool.
Where like they're running. Like, that's pretty cool. And then the last action scene is a little bit epic, but like I said, the effects, the CGI stuff takes me out of the movie big time. Like, I could see that if I were like I could see if I was a Warcraft fanboy filled with grease and probably just like snorting up with joy. Probably. If you're one of those kind of guys, then you'll like this movie.
Yeah. And I mean, if you like Guy Ritchie and you've always liked his directing style, I think you'll like this movie a lot. Because he uses it to his advantage, of course. Now we'll just have to see what he does with Aladdin. Oh
yeah, I forgot he's doing that. What, is he going to make Aladdin fast-paced now? What, like, the first time he sees Genie, the Genie would just start explaining where he's come from, and then, like, show things. Like, I used to be a simple guy, and then I got turned into magic, and then it shows him blah, 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 and then
I guess we'll just have to see.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Jackson, what would you give
King
Arthur?
Okay. I would say this movie's watchable if you're in the mood for a dumb movie with good action. I mean, yeah, it doesn't hurt to watch it. It's not too bad. If you're looking for something great, you're not going to get anything from it, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just mostly fine. I'd probably give it mostly a C.
Mm-hmm.
It's alright.
Yeah, I would. I'm gonna go. 6 out of 10.
Yeah, something like that.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. I had fun. But it's not that great of a movie.
No.
But I enjoyed it. I mean, I would if like my brother who loves Guy Ritchie was like, Seth, will you go see this movie with me? I was like, are you paying? I wouldn't pay to see it again, but if someone would pay for me to see it again, I'd see it again.
I say this is more worth renting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only thing that's worth going into theaters is the music, because when the music drives in, it actually shakes the theater, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we were gonna be like I thought I understand that you really like or not really like, but like generally like the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of feel the same way too.
Yeah.
So, no debate.
Yeah, so we had no debate, so we pretty much just baited you guys into thinking.
And I just said, I'll kick your ass for no reason. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Because he's mean. Alright, guys. That does it for the reviews of the week. Now we've got some movie news presented by...
Why are you talking like that?
Presented by no one. No one presents our movie news. Except for me. Okay!
Me.
And Jackson. But I'm the one who does the write-ups of the movie news.
Of course.
Jackson just...
I could just sit... Yeah,
Jackson
he does all the work in the kitchen while I just sit around and
Jackson,
do my research.
I just kind of all week hang out, except for the past 2 weeks I haven't really been on top of it. But I just sit around and pour up all the news. And Jackson just sits there and looks pretty and talks about movies with me.
Well, that's not the first time.
Alright, guys. So, a movie we just talked about, King Arthur, only made $14.7 million in its first weekend at the box office. And it costed $175 million to make. Now, that's not including its advertisements.
Yeah, that doubles up the budget.
Yeah, so this movie, the first box office bomb of the summer season.
Is this going to be the 2016 thing all over again? Where people are just going to say, oh, this movie's a flop when there's only a few.
I mean...
This could be the first.
Here's the thing, is this movie should have made much more than it made, technically. Like,
I am a little bit mad that Snatched got more than this movie. Because, even though I didn't think King Arthur was so great, but at least it looked like somebody was giving a shit about making this movie. In Snatch, nobody looked like they were giving a shit at all. They were just there to tell dumb jokes. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention there was this really dumb JCPenney product placement thing.
In Snatch?
Yeah.
I didn't see it, because that movie's fucking bad. That movie sucks.
Why are you people saying that movie?
Don't see the movie, stay home, and, do meth. Try meth. I promise you it will be a better time than that movie. Yeah, King Arthur is going to be a big flop. They're expecting it to lose $150 million for the studio.
Ouch. Well, it's Warner Brothers.
They can handle it.
They can handle it.
They make way too much money.
Hey, it's the first time they would actually... Well, not the first time, but, you remember when, when Batman vs. Superman made a lot of money? The studios were so disappointed because, they've only made $800 million, but they wanted $1 billion. But 800 is still, a fucking lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
Even I would just be like, holy shit, we made a lot of money. But no, they're just so disappointed because they wanted a Jurassic World.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like, you guys are such fucking brats.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like, okay, no, that's a flop.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Well, good luck trying to pay that off to Warner Brothers.
They'll pay it off with Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman's gonna make a lot of money. They're predicting that it's gonna be the lowest of the DCEU movies.
I bet it's gonna be higher than Justice League.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Wonder Woman. The first sort of talks for it came out this past week. People got their screenings and saw it, and just talks, right? Not reviews or anything. And it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be the first good DCEU movie.
Is it?
Patty Jenkins.
Could this be?
I think so. I think it will be the first one to get fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
If that ever happens, and DC fanboys go crazy over this, I swear to God.
Here's the thing. I hope this movie, if it's good, I hope it makes a lot of money.
I hope it's good too.
Because it's not only that it's good, but if it's good, it needs to make a lot of money. Because that shows Warner Brothers and DCEU that it's good to get good directors like Patty Jenkins, good storyline, good movie. It's good to make a good movie.
Right.
Because Suicide Squad, awful movie.
That made tons of money.
Batman vs. Superman, say what you will about it, awful movie, made tons of money.
Yeah.
All their movies make tons of money. And if the first good one could make tons of money.
Well, here's what I think. Whenever if you're making a franchise sort of thing, and if you're going down a little bit low, but if you make that one movie, say Guardians of the Galaxy, you know how that kind of affected Marvel, where the movie was really good to a lot of audiences and made a lot of money, but it also did a lot of things that Marvel didn't do. And all the producers are just like, okay, maybe we want to try to be a little bit more like Guardians because people really liked what we did here. And it was everybody's getting into superhero fatigue and then they'll just kind of stay away from it. If Wonder Woman does something different than Batman vs. Superman, that'll make studios, executives change their minds in a good way, then I really hope that. Yeah. I really hope for the best.
Yeah.
I'm expecting this one to be good. If it's just okay again, or lower, like I said, I will give up on the DC Cinematic Universe. At least B, around the B's or A's would be great.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah. Were we just talking about King Arthur at first?
Yeah. But then Warner Brothers. Second news story today. Hackers, apparently, have threatened Disney Studios that they have gained Pirates of the Caribbean, the new one. They've gained the entire film, and they have threatened Disney that they will release Pirates this weekend before its opening weekend if Disney will not pay them money.
Out of all the movies, why Pirates 5?
I know, because that Disney of course isn't going to give them money, but I hope these idiots I hope they get caught. I hope someone catches them and they just get. I hope they go to jail.
Maybe it's North Korea.
Yeah, I hope they go to jail for something stupid, like releasing Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Jesus.
That makes oh my God. Those are wow. I bet somebody, the head or whoever was in charge of hackers, is just all right, we got Disney. What do we want? Well, obviously we want Star Wars, right? No, we want Thor. That's going to be the big one. No, we want pirates. What the fuck, Jerry?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
No, if it was...
Really? Guys, really? Pirates?
If it was Star Wars, though...
I mean, if it was Star Wars, yeah, we'd be worried as shit, but...
No, they would pay.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. Because... First of all, I personally would never watch Star Wars for the first time not in a theater. The Last Jedi. I feel like that's a movie I need to see in theaters. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see.
Well, good luck with that, Disney
and hackers. Good luck, hackers. We will not see Pirates of the Caribbean online.
hopefully their next target would be Sony, and
Yeah,
you'll be leaking the Emoji Movie.
Yeah. Me and Jackson will be seeing Pirates of the Caribbean in like a week. And we are so...
That's coming out pretty soon, isn't it?
A week from tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Baywatch is coming out next week, too.
Oh, sweet. I'm excited for that one, too.
Me and Jackson are going to have a good next weekend on our hands.
Yeah.
Our third story of the day. So this is a story from a few weeks ago that we just didn't get around to talking to.
Mm-hmm.
So Hellboy is being rebooted. Guillermo del Toro.
He's not part of the movie.
He's not part of the movie.
Same thing with Ron Perlman. He's not coming back.
Yeah. It's set the guy from Stranger Things, Dave Harbour, is set to be Hellboy, and the director of The Descent, whose name is escaping me right now.
What's The Descent?
It's a horror film that is supposed to be like one of the best horror films like ever made. Like I haven't seen. I've never heard of it. Everyone I've heard talk about it loves it. So Neil Marshall is his name.
Okay.
He's set to direct, which I mean, I'm okay with this. Guillermo del Toro wouldn't make Hellboy 3 unless he got like I think it was a $250 million production budget. Yeah. Which is ludicrous because there's no way a Hellboy 3 would make that much money. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I'm excited to see a new Hellboy. I like Hellboy a lot. Sad to see Ron Perlman not returning as Hellboy. I love Ron Perlman's.
This is... I'm trying so hard trying to accept this. Like, I like the idea that they casted... what's his name again?
Dave Harbour.
Dave Harbour as Hellboy, because I can actually really see that.
Me
just
too.
Put him in the makeup, and I see it. But just the idea of rebooting it, and I just, I had to, think to myself, okay, you gotta face the facts that, Guillermo del Toro has a shit ton of movies in his hands, and he's so busy with a lot of them. Mm-hmm. It's I guess Hellboy 3 is no more. Which, I haven't seen Hellboy 2 yet, which I need to.
It's good.
I seen the first one. I really like that one. I really love the
first one's great.
Yeah.
Second one's really good too.
Yeah. So, I say don't fuck this up.
Thumbs down.
Just more just like an advice. Don't fuck this up. I think Dave Harbour's would make a great Hellboy, and definitely get some good filmmakers and writers into this. Yeah. That's all I have to say. Other than that, I'm still trying to accept the fact rebooted. Yeah. I'm not like one of those guys who would be like, oh, they just rebooted something that I love, or it was from my childhood and now it's destroying me. Like, I'm open to it. It's just sad to see that, Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy 3 won't be a thing anymore. Mm-hmm. It's too bad.
I give this a thumbs medium.
Yeah, same.
I think I want to try that though. I think I'm talking to the podcast people here and you. And podcast listeners, if you care or not, tell us. But I want, when we do news stories, we'll give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, and then our thoughts.
Oh God, what if we get sued?
Oh, we won't. How would we get sued?
Because Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel. I know they're dead, but they got lawyers.
I don't think any of their lawyers will be listening to us. And thumbs up and thumbs down.
Everybody doesn't know.
Copyright. There's no copyright on thumbs. So next we have talks of Justice League reshoots happening right now.
Great.
We'll try this. Thumbs up, thumbs down, Jackson.
Thumbs down.
Why?
Because, what was the last DC movie that had reshoots?
What was it?
Suicide Squad. That movie had some reshoots. Well, I mean, the reason why Suicide Squad has some reshoots is because with test screening audiences, it didn't do well, so they had to do it. I'm not sure. Why are they? I didn't know. Why are they doing the reshoots?
So the reshoots were personally in the budget. They had the budget set for reshoots to happen. They're just doing reshoots because in the editing process, they think there's some things that can help them.
Really?
Yeah.
But Zack Snyder thinks there's things that could make it better. There's some movies
I'm
that
actually,
do, yeah.
I'm actually thumbsing this one up. Thumbs up for me for this one, and here's why.
Right.
It just depends on, no one goes into reshoots saying, I'm gonna do reshoots for this film to make it worse, right?
Right.
Rogue One, like, so much of that movie was reshot.
Yeah.
You think about it. It really was.
Yeah, it was, and I can really tell.
But Rogue One's still a great movie. Whether you think so or not, that's fine. That's your opinion. I think it's a great movie.
I want to see. I personally really want to see what the original cut would have been like. Mm. Everybody talks about this, where all the stuff from the trailers of Rogue One is not in the movie, and there's a lot of shots and everything I liked about from the trailers, and I'm just like, and even the Blu-ray. When I got the Blu-ray, there was no deleted scenes. And they said that Gareth Edwards couldn't show it because I guess he said that they just didn't make us scenes, or they were too short, I guess. I'm just like, it still would make at least some sort of difference. I mean, it's sort of a split thing when it comes to reshoots. There's some good things about reshoots. I mean, I know there's some good movies out there that had some reshoots. But sometimes they'll take reshoots and they'll put it into the mind like, oh, people don't like it this way. Let's just change everything.
Which is why I'm a little different on Suicide Squad. No one's seen a personal cut of this movie yet because they're not done cutting it yet.
Still? Not even an extended version. Oh my god.
Did I say Suicide Squad or Justice League?
You said Suicide Squad.
I meant Justice League.
Oh, okay. Okay, Justice League.
There's still, right. I know they've been in the editing process for a while. And I think Zack Snyder realizes this is his last chance with DC, because it really is. Like, the petitions have gone out and nothing's going to happen from that. But I know Warner Brothers and DC knows.
Yeah.
If Zack Snyder fucks this up for us, we can't,
it's already like twice, 3 times fucked up.
And I think Zack Snyder, with all of his problems, I think he's a fine director. 300, I think, is cool.
Yes, I guess it's just superhero. Other than superhero critique, he's fine with
Dawn of the Dead remake is really good, in my opinion.
That one's my favorite out of all of his movies.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's sort of, we'll just have to see.
Okay. Probably he's just looking at the movie, and he's just probably like, do you know what would make this movie better? Turkish Airlines.
True. All right. Our next news story today, Jordan Peele passed up on Akira. To adapt it to live action. He said he wants to work on more original stuff. Mm-hmm. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Definitely big thumbs up. Mm-hmm. Okay, to be honest, I have never seen Akira. I know I could probably get a lot of friends from anime fans.
I haven't seen it either.
But I mean, at some point I will see it, because I know that movie kind of changed anime for. I mean, I think it was like the first anime. I mean, I might be wrong. I think it's the first anime movie to be released in America, and it kind of shows that like Japan, how they do their animation. So personally, I've never seen it, so I don't know I don't really care how the reboot's gonna go. But I really like how, I mean, Jordan Peele I think he's a really good filmmaker from his skits, and I liked Keanu. He didn't direct that one, but I liked it. And Get Out was absolutely fantastic.
Best movie of the year.
Yeah. And just the idea that he wants to do more original movies makes me want to stand up and applaud to him. Actually, you know what? I'll just do it right now. This is for you, Jordan. I love you, man.
Jackson is standing up and applauding right now. I can't lie about this. It's very exciting. I'm going to give it big old thumbs up, too. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of filmmakers would not do this.
No.
Because a lot of filmmakers, believe it or not, they want money. Not very many people anymore. Like, a lot of people do it for the art.
Yeah.
They love making movies, right? But there's some people, I think, that, like, be honest. If you made a really good original movie
Okay.
and you were up there, which, I mean, but you think about it, Get Out probably made him more money than a studio film would have.
Seriously, that movie made like...
That movie is the highest in terms of grossing. It's one of the highest grossing films of the year.
That's crazy.
It made like $200 million off of a $2.2 million budget.
Yeah.
You know his paycheck was so big for that. And you know that years down the line, too, he'll get offered any project he wants.
Yeah. It's not that... There's like this usual thing where like somebody does a movie that's like an independent movie. If it does well for the Oscar seasons or, you know... Then that's when studios would just kind of like look for them and they'd say, hey, we're doing our own sequel, reboot, spin-off, prequel, sequel. Would you like to join? We got a bunch of cash.
Yeah.
And then that's how they got Mark Webb to do The Amazing Spider-Man.
And, you know, I applaud Jordan, and I'm excited to see the next movie.
I want to see more of his original stuff.
Exactly. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, we're getting so sanitized at this point with, like, at this point now, it's just kind of expected. Every year, there'll be a sequel to something, to a reboot of something, or whatever. It's so great. Like, usually, throughout the years, like, usually whenever, you know, I look through movies in the year, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm obviously excited for Star Wars Episode 8 and all.
Yeah.
But I'm usually so excited, also really excited for what else is new is going to come out from indie movies and such. Like when there was a couple of indie movies I heard that I really wanted to see, like The Disaster Artist, which we'll get into that later, that's coming out, and I'm excited for that. Like, those movies, like, we're getting a little bit more original stuff, and I'm so happy that Get Out was, I wouldn't say completely original, but it feels so fresh, unique, and stands out from many other movies that has that familiar plot.
I would call it an original film.
Yeah, me too. Like, I say original, yeah.
Because you think about what the movie's about, and I can't think of a movie that's handled that subject like that, you know?
Right.
Now, is dealing with Black Lives Matter stuff, that kind of racial, you know, tension, all this stuff, is that new in movies? No. No. But the way his story works, the way the movie works, that's new. It's a new original movie.
Yeah. I said this was original.
Yeah.
Very original. Yeah. So, yeah. Next news?
Alright, next news is just a real quick one, because we like the first one. Goosebumps 2 has an official title. It's called Horrorland, and Jack Black is set to return. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm giving a thumbs up to this. I like the first Goosebumps. It reminded me a lot of like horror movies or horror kids movies I like Monster House, or I'm trying to think of another one, or Monster Squad. You know, those kind of movies. And, you know, Goosebumps kind of has the spirit of it. And I thought, like, it's probably the best thing that Sony has made since... Well, yeah, I think this is probably Sony's best movie for a while. Because it was a lot of fun. It's not great, but, I mean, it's like you can watch it on Halloween and just have fun.
Yeah, I mean, you could just watch it anytime, I think. And just, like, it's something, like... It's just an enjoyable movie to watch. Like, it's fun.
One thing I'm hoping for a sequel, though, I wanted to keep it the same, hopefully the same spirits as the first movie. Like, I noticed that the first Goosebumps movie, whenever I watch a Sony movie, for some reason I feel like I'm watching a commercial. Even with movies we kind of enjoyed, like, we saw Life, and, like, that was a kind of enjoyable movie, kind of. And then, like, there's, like, a certain part where, like, there's a scene where they shoot in Times Square where there's a girl who's, like, asking questions, and there's, like, all these buildings that has, like, product placement everywhere. Goosebumps doesn't feel like a commercial. It feels like a movie that, you know, filmmakers really like the original books, and they're like, hey, let's mash them all up together in one movie. Yeah.
Well, and Times Square, though, is pretty much a big commercial. It's a big commercial.
I love the place. We've been there.
Yeah.
But it's not a good place to film.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Love the first one. Really fun. Had a good time with it. Jack Black is great in it.
It was good.
Glad he will return. And yeah. Alright, so we have two more pieces of news. Well, one more piece of news, and then we're going to talk about a little trailer that I'll get into. A24 recently just picked up The Disaster Artist and slated it for an award season release.
Yes. Tommy Wiseau would be so proud of this right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Oh, man. You've seen the Room.
Yes.
Right? Do you like it?
Of course I like it.
Oh, yeah. It's a masterpiece. I cannot wait for this movie. Like, I've been really anticipating this movie for a while, and the one thing I've been getting a little bit so crazy about was just mostly when is it going to be released. Like, I was looking up online and like IMDb. They don't say. They're just like, oh, maybe sometime 2016 or 17. I'm like, when? And then finally, when I heard the news, I was like, thank goodness. I mean, it's pretty far away, December, but I think it'll be well worth it. It's got a good cast. James Franco's gonna be Tommy Wiseau, which I think that's perfect.
And it's got great reviews so far.
Yeah.
Out of South by Southwest. It had great reviews come out. A lot of people liked it. So
I hope that if they're gonna release the movie, they would also release The Room as well. Like say, obviously we got the new movie, but who wants to watch The Room first, and who wants to throw spoons at the screen? Have you heard about that?
No.
During screenings, like, they'll do re-releases of The Room in different countries.
Yeah.
People would take spoons because for some reason, Tommy has like a passion for spoons in the movie for some reason. So they just throw spoons at the screen.
That's cool. I mean, yeah, I'll buy it. I'm excited for it. I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll see the movie when it comes out. I'm not nearly as excited as Jackson is, but I'm excited. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah.
Trailer time?
Trailer time. So we got a few big trailers this week, but we're gonna only talk about one, and it's the War for the Planet of the Apes final trailer.
Right. Oh, just really quick. Battle of the Sexes. Check out the trailer. Looks really cool.
Yeah, Battle of the Sexes trailer is good. There was a new Transformers trailer, which doesn't matter.
I didn't watch it, so who the hell cares?
There's new trailers, but the only one we're going to talk about is Planet of the Apes.
War of the Planet of the Apes. Final trailer. Again, looks really fucking good.
Looks beautiful, looks good.
I'm pretty convinced this could be
I'm pretty sure
the best movie of the trilogy, and you're right. He's mentioned this before, where if this movie was really good, then we would have one of the best trilogies
of all time. This trailer's so good, and what I'm really impressed with that they've done with all their trailers is they've shown us a lot to be excited about, but I feel like I haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah.
Like, you look at some movies and all their trailers like show everything, like a bunch of stuff, and you see the movie and you're like, oh, I already saw that. But this movie, I still am not completely sure what the plot is. I know that there's gonna be they're gonna fight each other.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool action set pieces in the trailer that they set up, and you're like, man, I want to see that. I want to get in the theater and see that.
Yeah.
And also the trailer is demanding you to see it on the big screen. It's like, hey, I know you're watching this trailer on your small little phone or wherever, but you need to get out to a theater and you need to see this movie.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see this movie once, twice, 3 times.
That kind of reminds me of like Mad Max Fury Road. Like, it did the same way with the trailers where they show a lot, but they don't necessarily tell a whole lot. Which I love that. I love it when trailers do that. That just kind of makes you pumped for the movie, and it kind of makes you wish that it's just released right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it.
Me too. There's lots of really good moments in the trailer. Like some really good dramatic moments for the most part.
The shot,
it looks good.
the shot that's been in some of the other trailers too, of the guy's helmet, and on the back of it, it says Monkey Killer.
That was cool.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good at just like... Oh, it's going to be a great film.
It looks fucking awesome. Yeah. I can't wait to see it. June?
July.
Fuck! July?
Yeah. But yeah. I know.
July. That's like 3 months. Fuck.
2 months.
I can't. 2 months. I can't wait that long.
Well, we got some good movies that are going to get us along.
I want to know.
So.
I want to know.
That is our wrap-up of news and trailer talk for the week.
I want my precious.
Which also means that's our wrap-up for the podcast today.
Yep.
Jackson, where can the people find you?
Oh, they can find me on Facebook, Jackson Hayes. Instagram, I Directed Jackson. You can also check out my YouTube channel. Also, just make a quick announcement with my YouTube channel. I made a movie that won an award at a high school film festival, which is pretty cool. You can definitely check that out on my YouTube channel. It's called Ants, just basically a scene remake I did. If you want to check that out, go ahead. Seth, where can they find you? Where can they find you in the Lost Jungle?
Instagram at Seth_Oris, Facebook at Seth Oris, and you can check out my YouTube, just Seth Oris again. I got a few things there. I'm still working on getting us a YouTube set up. Gonna be buying us new equipment, so the audio is gonna be sounding much better over the next few weeks.
And we'll be getting back into regular edited bass.
Yeah, so there won't be much background noise.
Yeah.
We really, I can't stress enough to you guys, we really enjoy doing this. We enjoy talking about movies, and for those of you who listen to the entire thing, we thank you. We have a great time. Next week, we're most likely, it's like 90% we'll have a guest. Mm-hmm. We won't announce who yet, but we have a guest lined up, pretty sure. Next week, we're gonna be talking about more movie news, some trailer talks if good trailers come out. And we're going to be talking about, most importantly, Alien Covenant, which Jackson saw last night. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing tonight. And really, guys, we just thank you a ton. We wouldn't do this if we didn't like doing it. And we like doing it because it connects us with you guys. Leave... like, comment, share, tell your friends about it. We thank you guys so much. And until next time, peace out, Mother Fs.
You stole my script. I was supposed to say like and subscribe like I'm an obnoxious YouTuber.
I know. I don't mean to be obnoxious. Also, peace out, Mother Fs was taken from a different podcast, so I apologize. No, they're never gonna listen to this probably. But if they do, I apologize. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all for listening to this. We'll make another one next week. Like you said, Alien Covenant. Hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and you guys have a great day.